Brothers and sisters, I'm Jesse with Living Tree Community Foods, and we're here in the Edible Schoolyard at Martin Luther King High School here in Berkeley, California. And this is where the kids grow their own salad greens, veggies, and even fruits for their school lunches. Imagine that. And we're going to answer a question that a woman asked us. Why do you call your foods alive and not raw? It's a good question. And the short answer is that at Living Tree Community, we are dedicated to aliveness. The germination of a seed, the perfect care given to all species. This is aliveness. It's more important than ever to choose aliveness in the face of the epidemics of despair. And by this I mean that never before in American history has there been anything like the epidemic of diabetes, the epidemic of depression, the epidemic of obesity, the epidemic of opioids, and the epidemic of suicide. And this in the midst of a social isolation and of a all-pervasive loneliness. The faceless crowd, such as never been seen before. Which one of us has a friend, a buddy, or a pal in which they can confide, in which they can tell their innermost secrets and troubles and conflicts and whatever? Which one of us has such a treasured friend? Few, all too few, I would venture to say. In its place are the so-called friends of social media. What a sea of nothingness. Is it any wonder then that the birth rate has plunged to an all-time record low? That's why we call our foods alive and not raw. The most knowing and sophisticated body-mind therapies recognize that the blockage of energy is a wellspring of neuroses. So too acupuncture sees in blockages the origin of pathology. And just as there are blockages in the body, so too there are blockages in the body politic, in the social body of nations and peoples. These two have a tendency to turn pathological. Think back to what the world was like 75 years ago. It seems to me then that in these times it's more important than ever to choose life. So why not begin with what's right in front of us, and that's with the food we eat. We've got to choose life with green drinks. Parsley, celery, kale, Swiss chard, spinach, lettuce, chopped up, put in a blender with spring water, press the button, and you have a green drink, exemplifying aliveness, the most healing thing, in my humble opinion, you can do for yourself by way of living foods. We've got to choose life with intermittent fasting. I fast every Monday. I start Sunday night and I break my fast Tuesday morning for 36 hours, just water. It makes the rest of the week possible. It sets me going, it energizes me, and during that time, you can be sure I'm exercising, I'm running around, I'm running the business, I'm talking with people, I'm answering the phone. I do whatever it takes, just on water for 36 hours. It's a sort of reset button, making it once again altogether possible. We've got to choose life with vigorous exercise, whether it's yoga, tai chi, martial arts, stretches, calisthenics, or whatever. Vigorous exercise is a necessity in this world. And we've got to choose life by growing as much as possible of the food that we eat. We're inundated with heavily processed foods. And then there are pesticide-laden foods and genetically modified foods. In 5 years, virtually all the organic tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers in supermarkets will be grown in chemical soup. I'm referring, of course, to hydroponics. Indeed, those organic berries, those organic tomatoes that you're going to see in the stores all winter long, are grown in shipping containers, in warehouses, in completely artificial environs in Mexico, in chemical soup, of course. But they're all so organic. And then there is fake meat grown in a petri dish. My favorite. Just think of it. Just think of it. The greatest minds have been focused on giving it the same mouthfeel as meat. And what's more, when you bite into it, what do you get? It oozes blood. And that's why we call our foods alive and not raw. Get growing, my dear friends. Plan that springtime garden now for your backyard. That heirloom apple and pear and plum orchard in your front yard. Plant those trays of wheatgrass and microgreens in your kitchen right now. Join a community garden. Work with friends and neighbors. Brothers and sisters, we will build here yet an edible schoolyard for the human spirit. Let us all go forward. This magnificent schoolyard here in the midst of Berkeley is a treasure trove, an emblem, a symbol of what we can be. Thank you indeed. Bye for now.